A word for our listeners. Season 2 of Masks of Nyarlathotep is set in the 1930s and 40s. We will be using terms and sayings from those times, including some that could be considered offensive. It's not our intention to offend. We merely wish to offer as accurate a view of the time period as possible. Welcome to Masks of Nyarlathotep, a Nerds Domain gaming podcast. Join us each week as our investigators uncover the corruption of the mythos in World War II. Starring George Chimples, Rob Walker, Phil Durham, Shirley Niedzwiecki, and Justin Kimmett, with Matt Quiett running the table as keeper. Eldritch evils and crazed Nazi cultists await you just beyond this music. Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Nerds Domain Presents Masks of Nyarlathotep. I'm Matt, and I'm here with Rob.
I'm having a great time.
And Phil.
Howdy.
And Shirley.
Hello.
And we are short George tonight. He is half dead both in and out of the game, so he will be back hopefully in a couple of episodes. We'll see. But I don't think we need him right at this point in time since he is in such a dire situation.
His character.
Yes. Sure. I guess sinus infections aren't that dire. Last we left our investigators, you guys were in France. Phil, Brian, and George are at a farmhouse where, I'm sorry, Brian and Carlos, I should stick to one or the other. Brian and Carlos are at a farmhouse in France where Carlos is badly hurt. Badly enough that I didn't have him roll damage because we just knocked him unconscious.
Yeah.
You are relatively unscathed, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Astor was at the farmhouse with you, but something was going on with your chest. What's going on with your chest, Astor?
It's not healing and got goos and stuff coming out of it.
It's also moving towards your hand when you move your hand.
Yeah, I haven't got to that part yet. It's pretty, awesome possum.
And Evelyn, you are, just, hanging out with some people, just being friendly in jail.
Yep.
Arrested for running through the international checkpoint between Monaco and France. And,
I should have requested asylum.
there were explosions, maybe. Yeah, you tried to bribe the police.
My credit rating roll failed.
Yeah,
That was the story of last episode.
So our team is I wouldn't say doing the best, right? That's fair.
We've had lower points. We've also had higher points.
We've had lower points. Okay, sure.
I haven't gone traitor yet.
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 Astor, you last we saw you, you had just found a gypsy camp in southern France.
I talked to the elder of the camp.
Yep, and then kind of passed right out.
Don't.
So Brian, let's talk to you. You don't know where Astor's gone.
Yes, I know he went to go get medical attention.
Did he tell you where, like what kind of medical attention? Did he say he was going to the hospital?
I don't think he specifically did. No, I think he just said that he probably said that he needed to go get help. He probably may not have said medical attention, but
Okay.
I might have interpreted it. My character may have interpreted it as. I mean, like he knew it was an unnatural wound, so he doesn't necessarily rule out that he's.
And
going somewhere else.
you guys were all four in the car when Evelyn blew through the international,
Correct.
The border. So
Then we ducked out.
yeah, you know that she's likely been arrested.
Yes.
So what are you doing? What does Brian, the de facto leader of the group, do in this situation?
The only remainder of the group.
Right? Hey, I mean, Carlos is there.
I mean, that does but it does promote him indirectly,
It does.
right?
It does.
Yeah. He's going to make sure that Carlos makes it through the night
Okay.
and wait until sunrise. And then probably go to have a conversation with the...
They were
Try to
farmers,
have
yeah.
a conversation with the farmer,
Okay.
but he doesn't speak French.
Oh yeah.
So, wow. This is awesome. I didn't even think about the language issues. This is going to be great.
Yeah, he's gonna do his best Latin.
So, yeah, Carlos makes it through the night just fine. Well, as fine as he can. His breathing's a little shallow. Can you roll your first aid?
Sure, I can roll my first aid. Oh no, it's a 62 over 36.
He's dead, Jim. No. You don't know what's.
He was stable.
You don't know quite what's going on, but he is. He's stable enough to move more, but he is not stable. Like he'll heal on his own. He probably needs medical attention at this point.
Okay.
You could pump him full of some more morphine, which I would assume you do, because that's going to keep him from waking up in excruciating pain.
Wasn't the
Yes.
farmer going to help us?
Yeah, by letting you in the house, you
And providing some minimal first aid.
you three strange, weird people. I mean, do you want you can talk to the farmer and see if he can help. Well, you can attempt to talk to the farmer.
Well,
I thought he was going to help them, if I remember right, because he was against the Nazis.
Yeah, that's why you're in France, which the Nazis are not in France.
yeah, in terms of actually getting him off of the property, I don't know the farmer. I don't recall the farmer necessarily agreeing to help us beyond that. Well, what I'm certainly not going to do is just like not say anything to the farmer, like walk off with you carrying
Right.
this, and literally walk off carrying Carlos or anything.
Right.
So I'd probably try to, communicate in whatever words I think would most make sense to try to communicate
So-
hospital help.
So what you come down? What language do you start speaking in?
I would probably, would we have already established that the farmer doesn't speak English, or would Astor have been doing most of the communication?
Astor was doing most of the talking.
Right. So I'd probably just say English.
Can you roll luck?
I can roll it. 93.
He kind of shakes his head no, and looks at you and says, "Italiano."
I have a minimal amount of that, so I could.
What do you got? Like a 20?
No, a 5. Minimal is minimal.
Okay. So you can. Oh yeah, go try. Give it your best shot. Oh, don't worry about rolling. Just give me the concept that you're trying to get to him, as though you're speaking
Doctore.
Buongiorno.
I'm doing my best French.
Astor speaks the first most Italians. You speak the third most. I don't speak any. See, now these
third
jokes are
most.
funny. Now you get it, right?
Yeah.
You finally did your homework, and now these jokes are hilarious.
But that's not true. I finally had someone cheat my homework in. So
Look, just because we did your homework for you doesn't mean that you didn't turn in your homework.
I did turn in my homework. This is true.
So tell me what, like in English, tell me what you're trying to convey to him.
Where is the nearest doctor?
Okay. Probably about an hour ride. Longer if it has to be calm.
So, can you get us there calmly?
Yes. Do you have a reason why he's hurt?
Say hunting accident.
It's
I think we've already done that one. We
no,
played that card.
we did a mining accident.
yeah. You
Mining
guys played the
accident.
mining accident card. That's the worst card, by the way.
So, in attempting first aid on
Carlos.
Carlos, are the wounds primarily burns? Are there also puncture wounds from shrapnel? Is it a little bit
He's
of
got
both?
he's got some shrapnel
not so much. I mean, his skin is not singed, like he's not been burnt, but he's clearly been in some sort of explosion. Like, you know what an explosion looks like. This hasn't been an explosion. So I mean, it'd be hard to, without cleaning him. Like, it'd be hard to like get around that.
Fighting Nazis.
Okay.
So what I'd be trying to do is, is there just a friendly doctor who would look the other, way because fighting Nazis?
So he motions to himself. I go and points upstairs. So he kind of goes upstairs with you, or he goes upstairs and leads the way up there. Takes a look at Carlos, and he starts like kind of going over his wounds a little bit at a time, listening to his chest. He just puts his head on the bandages on the chest.
I think he's already done some first aid to him. So.
Yeah. He says lungs, water, bleeding internal or inside. He doesn't speak very good Italian either. He needs hospital.
Okay.
I can take you. It will be a little while. A long drive.
Yes.
Okay.
Please.
So the two of you like kind of makeshift stretcher out of, I don't know, like sheets and stuff. Get Carlos down to the car. Carlos is out. You probably pumped him full some more of morphine just because that's what he needs. So you guys go, you get him in the car, and you drive like probably closer to an hour and 45 minutes, and it's because he's taking it slow. So what on roads where you could go 50 or 60 kilometers an hour, he's going like 20, 25 because he wants to take it slow. He waves cars around you guys a couple of times, and he finally gets you to I can't think of the name of a big city. Doesn't matter which one because I don't have a clue. It's in anywhere near Monaco,
right?
Because we Americans know France ever so well.
Buongiorno.
Exactly. I was gonna look it up, but I don't see. Wow, where is Monaco? There it is. Yeah, he takes you to Nice.
Whose niece? Did you hear him almost answer though?
Yeah.
He takes you to Nice. And you guys get to the hospital, get to the emergency room. The doctor or the nurses kind of don't shoo you out of the room. They just keep you away from the bed where you can still see him, but not be in the way.
I see him being attended to.
Oh, yeah.
Is anyone keeping me there?
Nope.
This is a major city, right?
Yeah.
So I would, presumably based on trainings, briefings, what have you, be aware of some manner that generally in a large city I can get messages to. We're not MI6. What are we?
Section D.
Section D?
Yeah.
Okay.
You can, at this point, you can just call. I mean, you'd have to keep it cryptic what exactly is going on, but you could definitely call.
Okay. So then I would try to find someone in the hospital that speaks English.
That there are a couple, yeah.
And then ask where I can get access to a phone with an international line, I guess.
Okay. It takes you probably 20, 25 minutes to get somebody that knows where to send you, but you do. Not a big deal. And then you just give them a call?
Yeah.
Okay. It takes another 15 minutes to route you to the right person.
Yeah.
And on the other end of the line, you finally are talking with, we'll just say Courtney Weld.
Okay.
This is, what can I do for you, Mr. Blake?
We've run into some difficulties, which could have issues with local authorities,
Okay.
which some assistance in removing roadblocks may be necessary.
Okay. What can you be more specific? Where do I need to send the fire engine to put out this fire?
If the fire engines can meet me in Nice,
Okay.
that can be helpful.
And you need the good old Union Jack fire engines, right?
That'd be good, yeah.
Okay. It could take a couple of days. Is that an issue?
I think that things can hold until then.
I might be able to get someone quicker, but they may not be familiar with the particular kind of chemical fire you're used to.
I don't think that we need support with our chemical fire as much as we need it's less that we need help with what we're doing as much as people may now try to block our path in order to be able to do what we want to do.
It's Okay. So you may need a frog fire engine.
The player don't know what that means.
French.
Oh, okay.
Frog is a commonly used term for French.
Sure. Okay, there we go. All right, so in care. If a frog fire engine that understands our broad needs is available, that would be perfect.
But not your specific.
Correct.
No. Okay. I think we're on the same page. I will do my best. If I send someone, where should they meet you?
I'll just give the name of the hospital.
Okay. They will be looking for a Mr. Thomas.
Understand?
Okay. So he hangs up.
And then I'll go back to supervising.
It's probably 2 hours. Like they're still the nurses have gotten him settled. They've cleaned him up. They've started to bandage. The doctors have come in, and you have picked up. You know Italian. Do you know
Latin and German?
Okay, so you know enough Latin and Italian to kind of pick up on a couple of words that tell you that there's potential that he's going to end up in surgery. You don't know what for because you're not picking up on that, but they're talking surgery and they're not telling you what exactly is going on.
And I'm not pressing them.
It's probably 2 hours, and you kind of been not herded. You've been shown a place that you can sit. You've been shown to a waiting room.
Yeah.
And a man comes and sits down next to you with a newspaper, unfolds it, kind of looks around normally, like nothing's a big deal. Clearly French, pulls the newspaper up and starts looking at it. He says, "I'm looking for Mr. Thomas. I'm just giving your description.
Hello, yes, I am Mr. Thomas.
You can call me Francois."
It's good to meet you, Francois. Thank you for coming.
What exactly are you in need of?
I have a companion who is currently getting medical attention at this hospital.
The gentleman that was when you brought in George or Carlos, did you say it was a Nazi attack?
Did they ask me?
They asked what happened.
I was like, bum.
Okay. So the gentleman
Until someone pressed me hard in English.
No, they kind of left it alone at that point. The gentleman that was in the explosion.
Correct.
Okay. And his paperwork just needs to go through smoothly, and no one needs to ask any questions.
Correct. Particularly how he got those.
That won't be a problem. Is there anything else that you need assistance with?
Yes, I imagine that another one of my companions is was detained. I don't know as to her present circumstances.
A
by
young
the police.
lady of German descent, an American.
Yes.
We were given paperwork has come across my desk about concerns about an international incident. What exactly do you need done for her?
Do you know what her current status is?
She's being held.
Yeah.
Her background is being checked. She's made some claims and some potentially illegal offers.
Oh, joy.
But they could also those offers could be written off as, well, she's just rich. Rich people don't often know how the world actually works.
And some level of shock from being near such a traumatic event.
Absolutely. I can smooth that over, assuming that the information she gave for her background comes back as what she said.
What information do you know what information she provided?
I don't. I just know that they were looking into her background.
Any help and assistance that you can provide there would be greatly appreciated.
Okay. She's being held locally at the police station. They transferred her from the county, whatever, the county station in the evening. Is that it?
I hate to burden you for any more, but you seem to be someone who has a lot of knowledge. Have you heard of another man traveling the country at all? And I would give Astor's general description.
I have heard of nothing like that.
Okay. If you hear of someone like that in distress,
Okay. You don't describe the kind of distress he's in? Okay. I can
just
pass
reach
that
out.
information.
Yeah.
I can pass that information along. Will you be here or will you be mobile?
I will remain here at least until Carlos, or I don't say Carlos, until my companion here is stable. At which point he becomes stable, then I will find a local hotel and hopefully be able to rendezvous with my other companion.
Excellent. I will contact you when I know more.
Thank you.
And he folds his paper back up and stands up and walks out of the little room. If anyone saw you, it looked like nothing big. It's very likely no one saw you. Like, the hospital is busy enough that people aren't just kind of hanging out and standing around checking out, clandestine actions. Real quick, we're gonna pause that. Astor,
Yes.
you awake.
Neat.
You smell an overwhelming scent of grave dirt. So dirt that has had something decomposing in it, like almost like a mulch pile. Not a mulch. Mulch is the wrong word.
Compost.
Compost pile. Thank you. You open your eyes, but it's still. You think you open your eyes. You can't tell because what you think you're doing is opening, but the darkness doesn't change. There's no, like, when your eyes are closed, you can see the light behind your eyelid. None of that. It's dark. And then you think you open your eyes, and that doesn't change. You don't see anything swimming like you do sometimes in your eyes. You don't see the lights. Nothing.
Can I move my hands?
It's like moving in water. Do you have first aid? Are you trained in it?
I have 50.
Okay. So you know that when someone has had a head injury, sometimes they've described something like this where their body just doesn't move to the way they want. But you haven't taken a head injury to the best of your knowledge.
Right.
Although you did pass out, you might have fallen and hit in your head. But you also get the impression that thinking is coming very slowly for you. Like the all these realizations have not happened quickly. It's been slowly coming to you.
I'm Phil. Gotcha.
Oh man.
Aw.
Man, Phil, you
Phil's-
think things
You mean
through and
Phil or
listen.
Brian?
Meanwhile,
He clearly means Phil.
I love you, buddy.
you don't feel much else in sensation-wise, like physically. Even when you move your hands, it's like moving through water. You know how water has like a standard overlay. The only other pain or any other sensation you feel is your chest. And it feels like there's a ring of fire, and you can feel it slowly eating its way out.
That's comforting.
Yeah. But then, it's not that big of a deal because you lose consciousness again. Shirley, your character was arrested. You did offer the cops a bribe. In the night, they put you in another car, handcuffed, and took you to a bigger city, probably 45 minutes away, best you can tell. Where you were taken out, no one answered any questions, and they put you in another cell, uncuffed you at that point. But this is clearly a different, this is not the same police station. This is a much bigger station. You're clearly in a bigger city.
Okay.
They've kind of left you to your own situation.
Mm-hmm.
They did tell you last night that they were going to look into your credentials, but that is as far as they've gotten.
Okay.
So just want to make sure you two knew what was updated.
Am I getting food and water and such?
They do give you water, and some bread.
Okay.
And not nice French crusty bread, but crappy bread.
You're getting sludge.
But that is also the middle of the night, so, not that big of a deal. When the morning comes...
I can't remember who I told them I was.
You told them you were Evelyn. October.
Oh, okay,
yeah, I know.
I did.
Because you were like, I'm going to bribe you, and I was like, roll credit rating because you have to have, if you're going to tell me your real name, and you did.
No.
So in the morning, they bring you a hard-boiled egg and some more bread and a little bit of cheese and some more water, and that's it. The officers don't seem very interested in talking to you.
Like for the day?
No, for the morning. I said for the morning.
Just for the morning.
In the morning.
You said that's it.
Yeah, well, that's it for breakfast. You have an egg, some cheese, and some bread. That's your
okay.
breakfast. No utensils
It's
whatsoever.
not a full George.
No, it's definitely not a full George. We'll call this like a half Evelyn.
Oh my god.
I like that. That's fun.
And then around lunchtime, the best you can tell, it's hard to tell what time it is. You can't see a clock or anything, but the time is moving.
Is this a restful time for me? Like I just,
I don't know.
hang
What do
out
you
and-
do? You don't have anything to do.
Yeah, no.
So what do you do?
Sleep.
Sleep,
Well, I mean,
relax, think over
yeah.
what's going on. Okay, yeah.
So I gained sanity
No.
points back,
No,
right? Dang it.
Absolutely not.
You said rest. Make
You're-
sanity points
You're
back.
in a jail.
Around lunch, they bring you some cut salami, some bread, some cheese, a cup of coffee, and some water. The coffee's a little cold.
It's the leftovers that the cops didn't drink.
Right. It's probably breakfast leftovers. They're like, we can just give it to the inmate. At least somebody will drink it. It doesn't, the coffee's bitter like you would want it to be. It's just straight black coffee.
Right.
It's not bad. It's not great, but it's not bad.
Okay.
And then that evening, they bring you some cut salami or another cut of meat that's like a dried meat, bread, different kind of cheese, and then water, and a small glass of milk. And by glass, I mean 10 cup. They're not giving you anything.
Like 4
breakable.
ounces.
Yeah.
All right.
Meanwhile, the other than the meals, no one checks on you. They leave you to your own devices. You don't hear any other prisoners. It's pretty silent.
So where was I in prison the first time?
It was like an office that.
town.
No, I meant, is it in Morocco?
No,
I don't remember where I am.
We were just across the
Monaco.
border of Morocco.
Monaco.
Monaco.
Oh,
Don't ask what country it's in because
Monaco.
Rob asked
God
that last time.
Morocco.
And then
Good
you got
night.
arrested as we crashed through the border gate.
No, I remember all what happened because I went down to save your guys' butts.
Yeah. You did.
Yeah. No, you did something
I just
good for the team.
couldn't remember where I was.
Yeah. So no, the guards don't check on you. There's no real connection or there's nobody else to really interact with. It's pretty desolate. You would almost call this solitary confinement, except that you can see out of your
What
cell.
language are they speaking here?
French.
Okay, well, I understand everything they're saying,
Yeah.
so
Yeah, they come in,
guess-
drop off the food,
yeah.
and then half
I
hour.
would feel content because I don't want to talk to these guys anyway.
Okay.
I am a little worried about, my status and what they're going to find.
Obviously not worried
But,
about Carlos.
I have to worry about myself right now. It's like the oxygen mask and the crashing airplane,
Sure.
Oxygen mask on me first, and then I'll worry about everybody else later.
She just has great faith in
Yeah, right.
myself and.
Why
can't-
wouldn't I trust you guys? I left you guys alone.
Because that's worked well for your character in the past.
Blake, I'd say about a half hour after lunch, a doctor comes in, and he starts just like explaining things in French, and you are picking up none of it. It is all way above the French you speak.
English, please.
No.
Can I lead him to somebody I know that speaks English?
Sprechen Sie Deutsch?
Parlez-vous anglais?
I don't know how to say it in German, but I would say a little.
Da.
They
He
shoot you.
in German. What's your German at?
19.
Okay. In German, he explains kind of like he's explaining to a 6-year-old, because I think you get the impression that's also the terms he understands. That there were broken ribs, there's fluid on the lungs, and that he is generally not in good condition. He's stable, but he's going to take some time to heal. It could be anywhere between a week and 6 months before he's up and moving around. It depends on how quickly his body heals and what they haven't seen yet. They didn't do any surgery, but like broken ribs, there's not much they can really do about it. They were concerned the leg was broken, and it's not.
Awake?
No. Too much pain. Where did he get the burns?
Spain.
How long ago?
Many years.
Okay. They're not healed either. His body may be taxing itself to heal this along with that.
Much rest.
Okay. Leave him here.
Yes.
Check back daily.
Yes.
Okay.
Awake tomorrow?
Unlikely.
Yes.
1 week at least before a week.
Yes.
Da. So the doctor kind of leaves you to whatever you're doing and goes about it. Are you going to go get? Have you gotten lunch already, or were you waiting?
I probably got breakfast at some point.
Mhm.
Well, so when did Monsieur
Francois?
Francois, sorry.
Francois came in. I would say you guys woke up at the farmhouse early morning, like right after dawn, and were in town by 8:30, 8:45, like 9 o'clock at the latest.
Yeah.
So he was there around 11. It's been another hour and a half.
So I probably didn't eat breakfast.
Yeah.
But then after meeting with him, then I probably would have, had lunch.
Okay. So, what's the plan now for you?
I am presumably exhausted because I probably haven't slept at all.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't necessarily expect that the wheels would turn fast enough that Evelyn would be out anytime soon. So I would probably go and try to get a room at the place where I would most likely expect that I would be looked for.
So somewhere decently okay, but close to the hospital.
Yeah.
Okay. You find it somewhere a couple blocks away. It's a nice enough hotel. They give you a small room because it's just you at this point. Are you sleeping?
Yeah, I'd take a nap.
A couple hours.
Correct.
Okay. When you're awoken by what I assume is an alarm,
Yeah.
you kind of get up and you notice that there's an envelope that has been slid under the door.
Did it disturb the salt?
Yeah, it did.
Okay.
Yeah, it like straight knocked the salt out of the way. Like there's still a line of salt there, but it's not. Your first thought is that ain't gonna stop nothing.
Okay. So then I probably fix the salt and then read the letter.
Okay. It's very quick and short in English. Hospital. Patient name is. I'm trying to think of a good Spanish name. Juan. Carleone. No.
Corleone de Leon.
Yeah. A patient's name, Juan. Bills taken care of. Situation explained. And it's just very short, like not even full sentences. Jail. Harder. Waiting for information. Claims to be of German descent.
Okay.
So, no other, and then like a kind of like a third section. No other information.
Okay. I would go and get a coffee while I thought about my next move.
Okay. So you go downstairs. There's a cafe next door. You kind of sit down, have a coffee. They bring you food because you realize that you need to eat. It's been even a couple more hours. It's around dinner time, and a gentleman just like while you're not really, you're aware of your surroundings, but there are a lot of people on the street moving around. A gentleman just sits down at your table with a newspaper, and unfolds it, and he says, "Mr. Thomas."
We. Well, if he says it in English, I would say yes.
Yeah. Don't confuse him. Your American, the lady friend of yours,
Yes.
should be released sometime tomorrow. We're doing what we can, but the police here, without putting any pressure on them that's overt, the police here need to feel like they've done their job. She's going to be charged with some misdemeanor mayhem. But other than that, everything else should go away. They're chalking it up. They're probably going to chalk it up to moneyed fancies, which I think is about as good as it could get for you.
He says that, or you're saying
He
that?
says that. He says that.
Unquestionably, this is better than I had hoped. You have my great thanks.
Given the situation, she'll need to appear in court sometime in the future. It's important for this to go well that she does that.
Okay. Very good.
The gentleman at the hospital, you got the note. That should all be taken care of. It's just a matter of him healing.
Correct. Thank you.
We have rumors that a foreigner, and foreigner not to France, but to the area he went to, a non-gypsy entered a gypsy camp about 40 minutes north of here. The
It kind of
camps,
takes me a second. I go, oh, okay.
the camps are very insular. We don't keep an eye on them because we're concerned about them, but we keep an eye on them because they're very transitory, and that there's some concern. He has not come out, so that may be the gentleman you're looking for. The reports are rumors at best. I wouldn't trust them to say he's definitely there. And there was no description gave, just that he was not gypsy and he went there.
But he matched a general description.
It was a man. That is the general description that they gave us, is a man went there, and that's
matches the timeline.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Looked for as much as I could. This could very much not be him. He could be anywhere else, but this seemed out of sorts.
Fair.
So,
Yes.
I feel that I have fulfilled the 3 things you were looking for.
Yes. Amazingly.
Not to say that you can't ask for more, but if there's not anything else, I feel like I've done all I can at this point.
Unless the keeper wants me to roll idea.
No. I mean, there's really not a lot.
Right. Yeah. No. I would thank him graciously again, and not like I'm assuming he's like he's reading the paper, and I'm kind of like staring off to the right.
Yeah. No, you guys keep it pretty calm and
So as best I
nonchalant.
can, kind of like
Yeah.
really express my thanks, but yeah, within the confines of being reasonable for what we're doing.
If you do need me, tell your bellhop that you're looking for a good Italian place, and then go to the location that he suggests, and I will send either myself or someone else within 45 minutes.
Excellent. Thank you.
He stands up or folds his paper, stands up, says something in French, which you take to mean good day, and then heads off down the street. Taking a good look at him, he's just dressed in a general business suit, like a proper business suit for the time. Very nondescript.
And I wouldn't take too much of a good look
Right,
at him
right.
necessarily, because I don't want to be like calling out that this is anything other than just
Yeah.
whatever it was it appeared to be.
Yeah.
Something terribly casual.
So, what do you do? Do you want to go look for your other friend who may or may not be out at the gypsy camp?
Not at this point, no.
Okay.
I would finish my meal and my coffee.
Sure.
And then I'm not going to visit Evelyn. I don't think that yet. At this point, and probably not entirely, getting me involved in any of that is going to be of any use, since it sounds like she'll be out on her own shortly.
Okay.
Can't really do anything with Carlos, so I might try to make arrangements for the thing. We had a room in some other city, right? And that's where we left a lot of our stuff.
Yeah.
So I'd probably try to make arrangements for those. Well, I think there's anything sensitive that I wouldn't be comfortable having someone else pack up and bring.
There's
to
a
us.
box full of. Oh no, Evelyn probably left that at home. No, yeah, everything should be fine to move.
Okay, then I'd probably try to make arrangements for that to come to the
Make
hotel.
his way here. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll arrive tomorrow sometime.
Okay.
Anything else?
Not that I can think of right now.
We'll
I'm
fast.
pretty tired.
No, that's okay.
My character's pretty
Yeah. We'll fast forward to the next day. You've got another night of sleep. Evelyn, it's been very quiet and kind of boring. A little after breakfast, after they serve you breakfast in the morning, Evelyn, so you've been dealing. Yes.
I just want to say real quickly, probably
Yeah.
what I would do is in the morning, go to the hospital, and then I'd probably, if there's a cafe near, like an outdoor cafe or whatever,
Sure.
near the prison or whatever, jail,
Okay.
police station.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Evelyn, you've seen police officers in their uniforms, like regular police uniforms. A gentleman walks up to the bars to your cell in a full suit with appropriate markings to tell you that he's some sort of a detective. And you'd have to guess from his the uniform or the what's on his suit that he is some sort of ranking detective. And he's carrying a nice bag, like a clothing bag.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, Miss October, your indiscretions have concerned us. However, we've spoken with the American Embassy, who have spoken with Washington, and it has been made clear that you are of no danger to France. You will be charged with some crimes, but they should be relatively minor and probably result in some fines at most. Your items that were taken from you upon your arrest will be sitting here in this bag outside your cell. You will be released within an hour. At that point, we highly suggest that you do not return to Monaco. It's very likely that I would not, were I you, return to Monaco ever. However, that is up to you. I would not suggest it. Do you understand the situation?
Yes, fully.
Okay. If you don't have somewhere here in town that you are staying, it may be best to find somewhere and make arrangements for travel for tomorrow as well. To head back home, wherever you want to call that.
Noted.
Okay. He sets the bag down, and he says, I hope that the rest of your trip in France is a pleasant one, and you have a great day. Then turns and leaves. And about an hour later, an officer comes and unlocks your cell, kind of picks up the bag and hands it to you and leads you out.
I would bid him good day in French and kind of just stand there looking around to get my bearings.
Roll an idea. Or roll idea. Okay. It's likely that your friends, your companions, know where you're at. If they do, they probably have a hotel room nearby. And it's likely that if this is the biggest city that they could bring you to in the area, that Carlos, if he was as bad as he looked, is there. I mean, that's pretty solid. So it's a matter of where you want to go from here.
I would probably want to secure a room first.
Okay, so you're going to head towards... You'll ask an officer.
I would have asked an
Yeah.
officer.
He points you in direction of, there's a hotel here and a hotel here, and he
where
gives you
Americans frequent.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he points you towards one.
Okay.
It's surprisingly near the hospital. You get like half a block down, and you turn down another street, and you see a nice little outdoor cafe, and there is Brian just kind of sitting there, sipping coffee, quote unquote, reading the newspaper. Just kind of waiting.
The French newspaper that I can't read French.
I would just, as if I did, I mean, I notice him, but I would act as if I don't, like, noticing anything
Okay.
that I'm aware of, and make it an effort to walk by as close as possible to him without, attracting attention that we know each other.
Okay.
And then chuckle as I see the French newspaper in his hands.
Okay.
And then walk onto the
This would be like, what's your espionage at?
alphabetical order, right?
Yep.
36.
This would be a good time for you to lean over and ask, a complete stranger what kind of hotel they would recommend in the area. You're carrying a bag that makes you clearly a tourist.
Mm-hmm.
And I clearly don't look French.
Yeah.
Okay, so then I would make it, like inconspicuous and kind of look around and then notice him and lean over and ask in French because he's holding a French newspaper.
No, he clearly is not French. He's not dressed French.
Right.
But I'm still holding a French newspaper.
Okay.
So.
Yeah.
Right. So I look at him and ask him.
You pick up that she's looking for a hotel. It's a pretty simple
Even if I wasn't sure, the only information that I probably really wanted to communicate to right now was where I'm staying. So
Yeah.
just the name of the hotel would be my response.
So you can ask if I speak another language.
No, I mean,
I would just probably say the name of the hotel in a clearly Irish accent and say, "Good day, good
day."
No, good day, ma'am
Good day, ma'am.
or miss. How old are you,
She's in her late 20s.
miss?
I don't know any Irish, so
No. He's
I
saying
would
an
just
accent.
Irish accent.
yeah,
accent.
I know. But
Oh.
recognizing his accent, I would try to reply in his language. But I don't know.
Well, I said all of that in English, not in French.
Then I would thank you in English,
Not in French.
not in French.
All right, so are you headed to that hotel?
Yes, I am.
Okay. You get checked in a separate room.
I would just check to see if she's being followed or watched.
Nope.
Okay.
The
How
police
long-
trust me?
How long do you wait before you follow her?
20 minutes.
Okay. So Evelyn, you get to the hotel. You get checked in to a nicer room. You know, you've got money. And I'd say 20 minutes later, you hear a knock at the door. And
Do they have eye holes?
no, it's space age technology, Shirley.
Who's there?
That'd be you, Brian.
It's me,
Housekeeping.
Me who?
Evelyn.
Yes. Get difficult.
I just bang on the door again.
I'll open it.
May I come in?
Yes. I'll let him into the sitting room.
Sure.
I hope you were unharmed.
You're unharmed. Let's-
Well, what do you mean? I spent 2 days in jail. 2, 3?
2.
2.
Well, certainly there are some officers who exceed their authority sometimes and could have taken physical measures with you for unacceptable reasons.
Well, the wrath of the October family would have come down on him hard.
The wrath of the crazy Octobers that got sent back to America by the church.
Do I know that he got sent back?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You know he went back to America.
Okay.
So that he would
because-
live.
Yeah.
Carlos is stable at the local hospital. Presumably when I checked on him this morning, they're just
Yeah, yeah.
he's alive.
Yeah.
I was getting ready to say, where's Roberto? Where is Astor?
I'm not sure. He
I lost him. Whatever.
You're not sure where Astor is?
so
Astor's not
His-
sure where Astor is.
his previous injury has
His chest. Okay.
has progressively gotten worse. He felt that he needed to immediately seek out help while we were taking care of Carlos. I've engaged the help of Section D to get local authoritative help, which is part of the reason why you're now in this room instead of jail. Why Carlos is getting help
Well,
at the
thank
hospital. You're welcome. Part of the reason why Carlos is getting help at the hospital and not, being under guard and with myself having been the one that brought him in. I also inquired if they knew where he was. There was a story of a man, not without any description, going into a gypsy camp. And I guess the gypsies are quite insular and not coming back out. So that could be him.
What? What? Who in his right mind would go to a gypsy camp? Why did he go there?
Perhaps he thought that he could get help. I haven't been able to figure that out. That's something that we should definitely look into together.
Is he secretly a gypsy?
Again, that's something we can definitely look into. I've been trying to keep myself alive, keep Carlos alive, get you out of jail. The whys and wherefores of even if he is the person that's in the gypsy camp is not yet gotten onto my to-do list sufficiently to resolve.
Have our things shown up yet?
Yeah, they've been delivered. Yes,
They're in my
but they're
room.
all in his room
I know.
or in storage. You don't have a
Do
very
you,
big room.
do you have my things?
I did arrange for our things to be delivered here.
Would the
from
trunk
the-
of books be there?
No, it would. You may have the journal, Wilkerson's journal, but that would be it.
Okay.
Or not Wilker. Yeah, you would either have Wilkerson's journal or Ehrlichman's journal.
Ehrlichman.
Ehrlich man.
That's awesome.
The ghost of Jesse
Oh,
strikes
okay.
again.
Ehrlichman's journal will take 18 hours to read.
Yeah, you either have that or you have Wilkerson's journal because you have that as well from a while ago.
Okay.
But you wouldn't have a whole trunk full of occult books just traveling around the country with you.
I don't see why not.
Yeah, I don't
That's
see why
totally
she
rational.
Because the intelligence agency would not allow the assets that are those books just to roam around the country.
Oh, that's right. I handed them over to.
Yeah,
I was going to say MI6.
Section D.
Section D.
I keep wanting to do that too.
Okay.
So as you guys are kind of trying to figure out the plan of action, let's pop back over to Astor. Astor, you will wake again. Maybe a dream. Things are hazy and fuzzy. You are getting a view of something. Like it's
Okay.
not just darkness. You feel your chest aches. Like, you feel like you've been running for days and your chest aches like that. It's kind of like that. Your legs and arms you don't really feel them again.
Does it stink still?
Yeah, it's gotten a little more potent, a little thicker, a little heavier. More importantly, though, you can feel there's a crust next to your eyes. Like sometimes when you wake up in the morning, like your eyes have been watering and there's that crust of salt. So down from the edges of your eyes, just down your face, you can feel as you kind of move your face around, that crust is just there. Same thing like next to your mouth. I don't know. Is Astor a bearded fellow? At the time, it would have been mustache at most. Would
Probably
be
just mustache.
fashionable. So, like around your mouth, you can feel like a thick crust of something, and it feels like the fire is gone, but replacing it is a heavy pressure pushing out. And the as you kind of look around, you recognize the inside of one of the wagons, the gypsy wagons. You can lift your head a little bit. You're not immobilized, but it is very difficult. Like you are weak. You have been stripped completely. Your chest is uncovered completely, and as you look down, you can see what you would normally just the smoothness of your chest. Are you a hairy man?
Astor?
Yeah. No. For the sake of our podcast listeners, Rob, are you? Yes, Astor is Astor.
It's a fair question because of the way you asked it.
Is Astor a hairy man?
Not particularly.
Okay. So in that semi-smooth chest that you normally would have, all of that's gone, and where the hole had been, it had been like a gray, and now it's almost like a black, like a sheen of like obsidian. That like reflective black. But it's clearly not obsidian, and it's clearly not like the bone holding itself there. As you can see, a pulse like pushing up, like almost it's faster than your heartbeat until you see it, and then your heartbeat you can feel goes faster. But it's faster than your heartbeat would normally be, just this pushing. But it doesn't raise up much. It's maybe a quarter of an inch, but it's enough that you can see it and you are aware of it. You hear the sound of humming and like gentle singing, but it's nonsensical. It's just somebody humming and singing to themselves. You recognize the language at least as Romani, but not the words you can't really pick out fully.
Not something I've heard before.
Not that you can't put it together. Like it's one of those like half melody things.
Gotcha.
You can't quite put it together. And as you like kind of shift a little bit, you hear a woman's voice, the one that was humming and singing along, say, "Oh, no, lay down, lay still, don't exert yourself." And she kind of comes over with like a little bowl and like scoops her hand into it, and it's this like, it almost looks like pudding, like chocolate pudding, but it's thicker. She starts like dabbing it along the edge of the hole in your chest, and she says, "This thing is not gonna birth itself, so we got to make sure it's ready and it's clear." And as she kind of finishes that circle all the way around, you feel a racking pain as, the best you can tell, your breastbone snaps, and a 3 claws, kind of like the first 2 fingers and a thumb, rip through the skin there. The pain is excruciating. And then another one comes through on the other side, and then it just tears outward. And you feel individual ribs start to pop. And it's not even like they're trading off one on each side. It'd be like 2 on this side and then 1 on this side. And you lose count, but you didn't have that many ribs to begin with. Like, this seems like more ribs than you have just broken in the middle of you. And the good news is your chest isn't bleeding, but there is a brownish liquid kind of filling the hole in your chest like a bathtub, like the water's just rising. And then this head comes out of your chest, and the first thing you see is human-ish. It's very gaunt, very elongated, and as it's kind of like climbing out, it turns at you. It's got no nose, but its lips and eyes are 100% human, and its ears are like laid down against the side of its head, like they've been glued there. Like, you know how human ears just flop out a little bit? Not these. These are just like smushed against the side of the head. And it pulls itself out, and its 3 claws land on your upper chest, like your upper pec. Same with the other hand. And it crawls and pulls itself up, and it is right above you, looking down at you. And it opens its mouth, full of these very sharp teeth. They come down, grab hold of your nose, and sink all the way in and pull back, and blood just explodes from your face. And as you're screaming, understandably, you open your eyes again. Your nose is there, but there's this, on this head is now the face of Wilkerson. And you hear him say, "You took my life. I'll take mine back from you." And then you wake up. And we're going to actually stop it right there for this week for Masks of Nyarlathotep. We will see you guys next week, where we find out what the heck is going on in Astor's poor sick mind.
And that will do it for us tonight on the Nerds Domain Presents Masks of Nyarlathotep. Remember, you can email us at nerdsdomain@gmail.com or find us over on Facebook and Twitter at facebook.com/nerdsdomain and twitter.com/nerdsdomain. You can also check out our site at nerdsdom.com. Be sure to sign up for our newsletter while you're there. You can head over to iTunes and give us a 5-star rating. We want to thank Passion Nerdly for our music. Don't forget, you can support us at patreon.com/nerdsdomain and check out our shirts at TeePublic.